Okay. So this evening, we're going to start a little bit of a journey to really find out who you are. Uh, it's a simple question, and we think that the answer would be very simple also, but it's far from the truth. As we go the journey within, I'm going to make you realize that what we all have been thinking about ourselves is wrong. Literally, 100% of us are wrong. So the only way to really get to the bottom of that question, we have to take a journey within. Uh, the connection that we have with the world, it keeps us occupied so much that we never have a time to really go within. But if you do go within, miracles of the miracle can happen. And so we're going to take a journey, and I'll give a commentary on the way, each step, each chakra at a time. And then we'll resolve the answer to the question, who are you? All right, so again, we'll start with Tummo, uh, first finger and the thumb, and Vajrasan, and sitting comfortably on your thighs. Tummo, we all know, but we're gonna start with deep breath with each chakra, and we're gonna go within, and each chakra being lighted up with the fire, so the heat will be generated. We'll be taking a deep breath, hold it, push it down, contract all the muscles, and hold your breath till as long as you can, and then let it out. The main thing is to stay focused throughout the session so we do not get any outside distractions. And we remain focused, and at each level, we'll see how we've been living our life in illusory situations that we have been going through. So let's take a deep breath. Hold it, head down, bring your rectal muscles up, hold it as long as you can. Contract all your muscles. And let go. And lift your head up. Always watch the energy. We had started with the Muladhara, which is the end of the spinal cord, where you connect with the earth. This is where your journey begins in life when you are born. Before your first cell was created, you were energy, and now you have a physical appearance of a single cell, and then multiple cells, and then finally you're born. As soon as you're born, your connection with the world starts. Take a deep breath. Hold it, push it down, contract all the muscles, stay focused on Muladhara, which has a small fire burning. Release the breath. See the flow of the energy. So now you're born, and the first person you come in contact with your mother. There is a figure that's walking around, that's feeding you, bringing your needs, taking care of you, going away, coming back, back and forth. But this is all you know. And your relationship with that figure starts. And psychologists say that the identification starts with you first, means the opposite person, before it turns to I. First 2.5 years, you start knowing your mother. And this is where the interesting question comes in. How do you know she's your mother? This is where the scientist named Lawrence comes into the picture. He was an entomologist studying the behavior of animals. And he studied that if a chick is born, within first hour, if you remove his mother and put something else, the chick will believe that to be their mother. He did an experiment. He removed the chick's mother and put himself in place of it and kept on feeding the chicks. Chicks grew up thinking that he was their mother. This shows the first hour or so of the birth. This is a phenomenon he called imprinting. Whatever you are exposed to gets imprinted on your mind, and that remains forever. So he did that experiment. He even replaced himself with a balloon, and the chicks even started believing that balloon was their mother. He would move the balloon, take the balloon from places to places, chicks will follow. And he will keep on feeding them time to time, staying on the side. They kept on believing the food is coming from the balloon. So it's simple experiment, but it showed a lot of spiritual meaning to it, because he proved that the feelings that we have, our beliefs, can also be manipulated by an experiment. Just like you can manipulate an organ, say your heart or your lungs or your arms or your legs, they can be operated by a surgeon. The same way, these feelings also can be studied like an organ, even though they are subtle. And of course, you don't require knife like a surgeon's, but there are, in a subtle way, you can manipulate these feelings. This was a big breakthrough, not so much for scientific community, but it was a breakthrough for spiritual angle. So let's do the third round. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Push it down. So our life starts with the phenomenon of imprinting. Our minds are so fresh. Whatever we see, we believe. That mother could have been replaced by another person and would have been the same results. And cases have been recorded where the twins have been exchanged and they ended up in different houses and they started believing the exchanged parents were their parents. So it's all about belief. So the biggest bond that we talk about in our lives is the bond with mother, is also a belief. And a belief is a belief that can be unbelieved also. And we don't have to unbelieve, but we have to realize the subtleness and the flimsiness of this bond that we have with the world. We leave the world of imprinting. And this is how it shows. So first 2.5 years almost, the child does not even know who he is. And then his mind starts developing more and he realizes that this female figure keeps on moving around, but there is something nearby which doesn't move. She goes away and comes back, but this body which is in front of me does not even move. So if by this time he has been conversing with the Sansar, the parents, the siblings and everything, and he realizes they keep on talking the language of you and me. So if that is you, this must be me. So at that point, psychologists say our bondage with the body starts. Up until that point, we don't even know who we are. So this is how flimsy this belief system is that is located in our mind. And we have to realize that this is all recorded, imprinted on the mind, just like a movie being played on a screen. The screen is different than what is imprinted on it. This imprints, once it starts, it goes on throughout the life. So the question when it is asked who you are, don't jump to the answer right away. Start realizing this may not be the case. Even your name came from somewhere else. Somebody gave it to you. But throughout the life, we believe that this is me. That name could have been something else. Same thing with religions. Somebody tells you you are a Hindu or a Jain or a Muslim, and you believe it. So our whole life revolves around these identifications that we have. And we believe them. This is all belief system. But where is the truth? We don't know. Let's go further. We go to Swatisthana, four fingers below the navel. Take a deep breath. Relax. Release the energy. You see the release of the energy, which is rising higher. And you are witnessing it. Take a deep breath. And relax. Observe the blood flow. Observe the heartbeats. Observe the body. Just observe. Deep breath. Swadhisthana is where you are expanding into the world. You brought in some desires, hidden desires, vrittis and vasanas, which are opening up now. You are utilizing the body, which you now believe is you, but you don't know. Now you are fully into the Sansar, where nobody knows who they are, and yet the interactions keep on happening. Just like the Lorenz said, the emotional bond between the chick and its mother could be manipulated. That tells us something, that all the emotions that we generate by interacting with Sansar, we have mad, moh, krodh, maya, desires, greed, anger, hatred. All these things are also byproducts of the Sansar, which is nothing but matter. Outside is all matter. But even the reactions that we develop in our minds are also matter. Matter means moving. Just like the matter moves outside, our emotions also move. They come and go. Our thoughts move. Anything that moves is material and it can be manipulated, just like Lorenz said. So if you really start understanding this mechanism of your mind, the whole mind is mechanical, whether you realize it or not. You don't have something that you can cut it with, like a knife, but there is a subtle presence of intelligence within you, the wisdom that has a very sharp edge that starts defining right from wrong, imprinting versus who you really are. And this is the wisdom full of awareness. As you remain aware of your interventions in the sansar, you realize what you went through. You went through in the total illusion. The whole life was illusory, believing that you are what people call you, that you are the body. And you live your whole life thinking that. But reality is something else. We'll do last one at Swadhisthana. Take a deep breath. Relax. Watch the energy. We'll go higher to Manipur, in between the rib cage. This is where the fire, the assimilation of all the food, the prana, that distributes the energy throughout your body and to the mind and to your actions. Everything is generated. You need the fire. You need the fuel. That's what Manipur chakra is, which activates all your pranas. Take a deep breath. relax. Take a deep breath. The fire is rising to the Manipur chakra. Deep breath. And relax. All along, you're getting involved in Sansar, setting up connections with everybody, behaving like everybody behaves. You, me, your I is becoming bigger and bigger with your identifications, your cars, your houses, your possessions, your friends, your relatives. It's all centered around one thing, I. If I is not there, then nothing remains. But now the I is becoming in question. Now we are not sure if we are the body or not. We presume that body is us, again because of the imprinting. Just the way mother got imprinted onto our mind as a mother, the body has even deeper imprinting on our mind that I am this. Even though it is changing right in front of our eyes, we keep on believing that this is me. Just like a scientist is studying in laboratory, he's looking at, say there are amoebas, which are in the petri dish. One amoeba divides into two, two into four, four into 16. All those things are keep on happening, and he's studying them. The change is happening, but there is a scientist who is standing outside, studying the whole behavior of amoeba. We never had a chance to study the behavior of our body. Our body has gone through significant changes from the time we were born. Then we were young, then we were adolescent, then we were middle-aged. As the things keep on changing, we never put our body and the mind into the petri dish. We never did. But this is the time. As the Lawrence said, all the emotions and the outside world, everything is matter. It can be studied, it can be manipulated, it can be understood, it can be transcended. The main thing is to understand who is studying this. There is a scientist hidden within you. That's your awareness. With the help of awareness and the intelligence, you have abundant supply of intelligence available. There is no limit because intelligence and the wisdom is coming from the source which is infinite, the consciousness. There is no limit how much consciousness you can utilize to differentiate itself from what it is studying, just like a scientist studying the amoeba in the petri dish through the meditation with the subtle scientific way. You can study your own thoughts and your own ideas and look at them as a foreign objects. We go to Anahat Chakra. Take a deep breath. It's at the heart center. Deep breath. Anahat is where you start rising above and beyond your relationship. You start showing connectivity with others. You start showing compassion, kindness, philanthropic behaviors. You start loving them and expanding. You are rising higher towards the consciousness. Take a deep breath. Relax. You have this expanded net of Sansar, which is continuously moving around in front of you. You are still under the impression who you are as your body. and your name, which are pretty much alive, which is setting the connections with the rest of the sansar. Take a deep breath. And relax. Watch the flow of the energy rising to the Sansar, to the highest center of consciousness. Take a deep breath. And relax. We rise higher to Vishuddha Chakra at the neck level. Take a deep breath. The fire has risen to the neck level. The body is burning. Arms, chest, abdomen, lower back, and the legs. Everything is burning. The heat is rising. At the Vishuddha level, somehow, somewhere along the line, you start realizing, is this what I'm here for? If this is the only life, then where is the escape? In the life, there is suffering. There is anxieties of the future. What is going to happen? What did I do wrong? Why can't I break the connections with the objects that I like? These objects of pleasure, whether it is drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, or favorite food items. Why can't I cut it? Even though I know I have diseases, I can't stop. My attachment to the present in front of me is tremendous. I find myself incapable of breaking it. There is some other outlet. This is where the intuition comes in and starts giving you a glimpse of the world that you were never aware of the field of consciousness which you never had been exposed to because you were blind. You were so far only matter. Your thoughts are matter, your emotions are matter, your hatreds are matter. It's all about matter. Anger is matter. Superiority complex is matter. Inferiority complex is matter. All the matter is sansar, and everything is moving. Sansar means Sansharan, comes from the word Sansharan. Sansaran means motion. Whatever moves is sansar. But the one that is observing is not moving. Just like the scientist looking at the amoeba dividing, amoeba is moving, scientist is silently watching. Same way your awareness is rising. Now you are watching where your problems are. You are suffering. That is your recognition. And that itself leads to salvation. Take a deep breath. Now you start realizing there is something else that I have. Somewhere along the line, you start meditating and you realize there is something not right. And let me look at inside what's going on. This is where you start realizing your consciousness. You learn how to watch your thoughts, watch your emotions, watch your beliefs, and the world. You're just watching as a scientist. Take a deep breath. And relax. Watch the flow. Stay connected with your full awareness. Remain aware throughout the session. We'll rise to the Agnya Chakra. Locate it between the eyebrows. Take a deep breath. At Agnya Chakra, you are fully established with the consciousness and commanding all the centers below. Now you have realized where your mistake was. Now you know where to invest your time now, rest of the life. To invest into something which is always gonna stay the same. All the matter keeps on changing. Birth, growth, decay, and death. These are all certain rules that all the matter has to go through. But the same thing happens with your thoughts. They come, they stay, and they disappear. Your emotions, anger comes, stays, starts withering, and disappears. Love, you think that this particular person is going to make me very happy. And the love starts growing up. Little by little, it starts withering out. And at some point disappears. You find what were you really running after. All these things keep on changing, but the awareness never changes. So awareness, which is unchanging, is always the same because awareness is the spirit. It does not follow the laws of matter. It's always forever young. It's immortal. So you invest more time into your consciousness. You remain conscious throughout your day. Take a deep breath. And relax. Last one. Take a deep breath. Remain awake. Remain alert. Remain conscious. That's what you are. Rise higher to Sansar, above the crown chakra, looking at your body, which gave you this whole series of experiences throughout the life. You started as a single cell. Now you're up to here. All your experiences that you experienced throughout the Sansar were based on one central belief that you were the body and you were the mind. You were the beliefs and you were what your name is. But all these things were imprinting that all came from outside. And now inside, within you, is the pure consciousness. Everything else was imprinting. Take a deep breath. This imprinting is not a new phenomenon to our scriptures. Shankaracharya called this sanskaras. Sanskaras are the impressions coming from outside. That's not you. These things were known by our ancient rishis thousands of years ago. Mahavir knew it, Buddha knew it, everybody knew it, and they analyzed the whole thing. Take a deep breath. You are the consciousness. You are standing apart just by yourself and watching the body that has been given to us by the nature, by interactions of the material world. Body is created, body is gonna go old, gonna wither out and die. Body will come and go, but consciousness will remain the same. And your consciousness went into the Sansar with desires. Ultimately, it's your desires that makes you come back to life in the Sansar again and again and again. When your life ends, if you die with desires, believe it or not, nobody gives you the body. You ask for it. There is no God sitting in heaven that will create the body for you. This is how the universe works. This is how the consciousness works. You ask for it because you have innermost desire. You still believe there is something to get from this Sansar. But this is the time to wake up and rise and realize that this is all fake. Your name, your relationship, your possessions, everything that is connected with you as a person is fake because you are fake. So this illusory sansar is nothing but a dream that comes and goes. But you are the one who keeps on going, dreaming, because you like the dreams. You believe the dreams are real. And that's why when you die with desires. And these desires looks for another body to fulfill themselves. So nobody gives you the body, you're asking for it. When you realize this fact, what are you going to do? You're going to stop asking for it. You're going to stop desires. Mahavir gives you a beautiful scenario, beautiful tenet. He says that there is nothing like yoga. Yoga means to connect. The whole Hinduian philosophy, or most of the philosophies, are located under the pathway of yoga. You connect to the higher self. But Mahavir says, no, the sadhana should be a yoga, means you already are the consciousness, trying to break away from the illusory nature of this world. So he called it a yoga, where you already start with the belief that you are the consciousness, looking at the whole barrage of illusory dreams that you've been watching all life under the wrong impression. The imprinting phenomenon played a trick on your mind. And that's how you believed all the wrong thinkings. But Mahavir says, you are the spirit trying to understand and break away from the matter. Take a deep breath. Now you have realized yourself to be nothing but the consciousness. Now the question comes is, what do you do with the life that you have in front of you? It is matter. There is no breaking away from it. There is nothing like breaking away because the matter is also spirit. The science says E equal to mc square. All the matter breaks down into quantum particles, which is particles of energy, is nothing but energy. Just the way your mental energy creates the beautiful dreams or horrible dreams, dreams are arising and dreams are dissolving, but dreams are not coming from outside. So matter is not your enemy. Matter ultimately came because of your desires. Your desires towards the sansar created your body, created your senses, so that you can grab things from sansar. But now your inner mechanism is telling you, enough is enough. Let me be happy with what I am. The nature of sansar is that it cannot give you anything permanent, because sansar is not permanent. Sansar is changing. Once this firm beliefs gets established, then your desires stop. Desire stops means your next birth stops, next cycles stop, and you reach the state of nirvana. This is the mechanism of understanding through the meditation, the whole idea of who is in charge. Just the way in the scientific laboratory, scientist is in charge. Amoebas keep on doing whatever it is doing, but he is watching. The same way in our body, we have a very precious gift sitting here, the consciousness. Consciousness can sort out everything. Consciousness is the unlimited supply of intelligence and the wisdom that is coming from the infinite field of consciousness. Utilize it, meditate on this, and come out of this illusory life that we have been living so far. This is the ultimate destination of humans. This is the ultimate benefit of being humans. Have a good day.